So I want to really briefly talk about sales rank or best seller rank on Amazon. Now, best seller rank on Amazon, all it really is a snapshot in time of how well that product is selling in that category currently. Best seller rank or sales rank on Amazon can fluctuate up and down, and that obviously affects your product sales. And what that's basically going to do is allow you to better judge how well that specific product is selling or not selling on Amazon, so that you can make a better educated decision if you're trying to source a product that is like this, or this specific product, obviously, how much actual sales are on Amazon for that currently, right? Why is that relevant? Why do you want to know that, okay? In a future lecture, we're going to talk about the competition on that listing, but not to get into the competition on that listing. Let's just say that you or, there's one other seller on the listing. Obviously, with a lot of wholesale listings, there will be a lot of sellers, and we will cover that in a future lecture. But you want to understand how much that specific, product listing is selling, so that you can understand, like, okay, if I know that this is selling 30 a month or 50 a month or 100 a month, and there are X amount of other sellers there, it's better going to give you an identifier of how many products you can source and expect to sell in that month, okay? That's why it's important for wholesale or really any online arbitrage business model that deals with Amazon. Now, one of the benefits of sourcing for Amazon is not only that they have high sales velocity on a lot of products, especially a lot of top branded wholesale products, but it is that you can better ascertain than any other marketplace, right? You can do product research on eBay, but it's a little bit more difficult. And it's not as surefire and, 100% like, here's the data, right? You can do product research on other marketplaces, but it's not as conclusive. With best seller rank, obviously you can look at the best seller rank and better ascertain. Now, this is an example of one that I want you to stay away from, so we're going to steer clear of that for a second. But if you look right here, it's going to tell you Amazon best seller rank, 250 in pets. So that is selling very, very well. Anything under 100 or anything under 1,000, in the main category is selling extremely well, okay? My general rule of thumb for most categories, and keep in mind this is not for all categories because different categories have different sales velocities, right? So 1,000 in one category might have X sales, but 1,000 in another category might have, Y sales, right? They're not exactly the same. Now, typically, I always recommend, if you don't want to go ahead and get a software that's going to tell you the exact sales or spit you out a number that is pretty close to the exact sales of that product based on the sales rank for that category and how many sales there are for that actual category, then what I recommend usually is stay below 100,000. Although when you're sourcing wholesale, you're spending a lot more money. So I know that depending on who's watching this specifically, you may or may not have a lot of money to throw into a software or into products. I would strongly urge you to get a software that's going to tell you specifically, like Jungle Scout right here, how many monthly sales, how many daily sales, so you don't have to guess, right? You don't have to literally go out there and guess. You know for a fact, this is selling 215 sales a day, this is selling 5,800 a month roughly, meaning that if there are 3 other sellers, you can divide that by 3 and better assume that you're going to get X amount of sales based on the sales rank of this actual listing and the competition on that listing, right? It's the most surefire way. That's why I love sourcing for Amazon, because the numbers are concrete. They're right there for you, okay? Now, if you don't have a software like this, then obviously you're going to be guessing, and that's not a good way to operate a business, because you might be sitting on products and tying up your cash flow longer than you have to because you're guessing on products and you're not, it's not surefire. Terrible way to run a business. So I would highly stress, if you don't want to get this, stay under 100,000. But like I said, I would highly, highly, highly recommend get a software like Jungle Scout. I use Jungle Scout. If you don't use software, if you don't use Jungle Scout, there's I think there's Viral Launch, Unicorn Smash. There's a bunch of them out there. I think Jungle Scout's the best. I've been using it for years. I recommend it to all my students and everybody that obviously does consulting with me. So I'm going to drop an affiliate link for Jungle Scout to this actual lecture if you want to go ahead and grab it, or you can simply go to Jungle Scout and sign up for yourself. Obviously, I'd appreciate it if you go through my affiliate link. So let me go to the Jungle Scout website, and I'll show you exactly what you want, right? So what you want on Jungle Scout, if we go over to pricing, it's not expensive at all. You don't want the package right here, and you don't want Jungle Scout. What you actually want is the Google Chrome extension, okay? That's what I have, right? What that's going to do is allow you to be on a product listing on Amazon, and it's going to tell you the sales on that specific product listing. Now, if you get the extension, it's only $19 a month, and that's going to pay for itself time and time again. I recommend that you pay yearly so it's cheaper. If you pay monthly, it's going to be $40 a month. Still well worth it. But if you pay yearly and you pay up front, obviously it's $19 a month, which is relatively cheap for any of the softwares out there on the market. And in my opinion, it's the best. So affiliate link linked here. That's what I recommend that you get so you're not guessing. But just understand that all bestseller rank does is it dictates exactly how many sales it is. So this is 788 in pets, also selling extremely well. We pull up the extension. It has 118 daily sales and 3,000 a month. This is going to be your bread and butter when you're sourcing, so you know exactly how many sales are on that listing, so you know exactly how much product to source so that you can send it into Amazon or fulfill it yourself, right? Now, one cautionary tale that I did want to bring to your attention is you want to make sure it's in the main category, okay? Now, this is in pet supplies, which is a main category. This is also, I believe, in pet supplies, which is a main category, right? Let's click another one right here. This is going to be pet supplies as well, because obviously it's a suggested product. But if we scroll down, you're going to see the bestseller rank. And you don't have to worry about any of this if you get Jungle Scout, because it's going to literally tell you that, right? But I just want to kind of touch on it really briefly. So look, 17,900 in pet supplies, the main category. Now, if we scroll over to this one, this is a cautionary tale, right? Because there's 3 bestseller ranks here. None of them are in the main category. And a mistake that beginners make often is they look at this and they think, holy crap, 18 in sport fan computer accessories, this is selling extremely well, when in reality that is not the main category, it's a subcategory, okay? So if you run the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, it's going to tell you that it's not selling at all. So you need to steer clear of the ones that aren't showing the main category, because that's a major red flag. But I would highly recommend, just like we talked about, just get Jungle Scout, that way you're sure.